The team sheets are in for the round 19 clash against arch rivals Carlton at the MCG on Saturday afternoon, and there is big news coming out of match committee. We welcome back a premiership star and we introduce our 5th debutant for the year. Neil Balme was one of the men making these tough decisions today. He joins me as always. Balme, tell us who's in the side.
Oh, a very exciting day for all of us. It's what we've been waiting for. Ben Reid's in. We've been waiting for him to play his 100th all year, and finally he gets there. So it'll be a great opportunity for him to play. But with him come Ben Sinclair as well, who has missed quite a bit of footy. We're really pleased to have him back. Jared Blair comes straight back in after a terrific effort in the VFL last week. And Jonathan Marsh plays his first game. He's also been playing some very good footy in the VFL. So we're pleased to have those four in. Sadly, there have to be outs for that to happen. Jared Witts has been left out, along with Paul Seedsman and Sammy Dwyer, and Jordan De Goey will be rested.
Of course, a lot of the talk has been about Ben Reid, but Ben Sinclair is a great in for us. We haven't seen him since round 2. What will he bring to the side?
Oh, he's a very good player for us. Sinks some terrific pace off the half-back line particularly. Really has a crack at it. A very decisive player. So here he has taken a fantastic mark against Williamstown last week. He hasn't played since round 2. He's played about half a dozen games in the VFL, including the last couple, and now looks in pretty good shape. We're a bit concerned about his hamstring. Took him a fair while to get over it, but we're really pleased to see him back in the side.
Great to have him back into the side. Can't wait to watch him play. Here's what's making news on Thursday, the 6th of August. After being selected with pick 8 in the 2006 National Draft, Ben Reid is set to play his 100th AFL match, having successfully overcome persistent soft tissue injuries. Reid has returned through the VFL over the last month and has impressed selectors with his form as a forward. His last senior match was against Brisbane in round 21 last year. Collingwood continues to blood fresh talent, with Jonathan Marsh set to make his debut this Saturday against the Blues. Marsh, who was selected with pick 77 of the 2013 National Draft, was originally recruited as a forward before making the move down back. The 19-year-old spoke to Collingwood media after his best on-ground performance in the VFL last week.
It was a pretty hard-fought game throughout 4 quarters. Obviously the conditions play into that a bit, but I thought we should hold our heads up, and it was a good crack, and just a couple of fundamentals that we'll get right during the week. And the ball and the conditions probably helped me out a bit. It held up, so took just some intercept marks down the end that the ball just holds up. So just a lucky day for a backman that it sits up and you can sort of read the ball and edge your man under the ball.
And finally, there has been plenty of conjecture surrounding the sub-rule and the possibility of it being removed in 2016. This could be good news for the likes of Ben Kennedy, who has started 12 of his last 24 senior games in the green vest. Balme, what's our club's position on the sub-rule? Are we happy to see it go?
Oh, we certainly are. More for emotional, sentimental problems. There's some poor sucker every week you've got to say you are the sub, meaning you're not going to start. And the worst decision you've got to make all day is the kid who's going to have to come off and put the red vest on. But in essence, there's a lot of talk about interchange and how many we should have. I mean, as a club, we're happy to whatever they come up with, we'll work with. And the sub came in to reduce interchange a little bit. It's probably done its job. I'm sure they'll do something around interchange. But it is a task that you don't really want every week. When people play, we'd like them to play.
Yeah, I can imagine it's one of the tougher calls on match day. Now, speaking of match day, on Saturday, the boys will be playing for the Peter McCallum Cup. It's in its 23rd year. It's the longest charity match running in VFL AFL history. Of course, it's raising funds and awareness for the Peter McCallum Cancer Centre. So a terrific cause. We had a young Bailey Delaney down at the club today. You can see him there with Darcy Moore and Jordan De Goey. His favourite player, Dane Swan. Now, Bailey spent a lot of time in the Peter Mac Centre being treated for cancer. So great to have him at the club today. He's a good friend of ours and a great cause to be playing for on Saturday.
Well, it has been going for a long time, but it's just as significant now as it ever was. It's the Peter Mac cause is extraordinary. I went to one of the breakfasts earlier in the week. I mean, we're all touched by it to some degree, but the important thing for us is to win the game. We've got to win this game.
Now, finally, Balme, before you leave us, who are you going to talk about in the Blackmores injury update now that Ben Reid's back?
Oh, hopefully not about better eats.
Fingers crossed. Thank you for joining us as always. And thank you for watching Team Sheet. Footy is back in its traditional time slot at its traditional ground. We hope to see you there. Go Pies!